Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. To some and peace out to the rest of you. Black Art Sign of Black, and again asking you to hit that share button. Look, you know the intro, and I'm not going to go through it this time because this is part 2 of what I previously recorded. Now, if any of you have noticed, some of my content's been removed, but I'm not sure exactly what has and what hasn't. I didn't have time to go through it. You know, I'm always interrupted, like always interrupted, I swear. So anyway, I got to go through and see what it is. But in any case, I want to say this about the CEO of YouTube. Other white YouTube red pill guys have said that she is a real feminist piece of work, raving feminist, and she searches out stuff like this and removes it. So I don't know how true it is. What I do know is that free speech has been curtailed, and I'm seeing it firsthand, but I heard about it before. And the thing is, all I did was get to 1,200 subscribers, 1,204, I think, and then all of a sudden I'm flagged. So if this happens one more time, as a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and start migrating some things over to blackjunction.tv, putting it there. And if they do it, I'm going to act the same way. I'd go to Black Avenger, but I still got to get more familiar with it. And so the other thing too is I've tried to look at Black Avenger with the time I got left, but I may not be militant enough for Black Avenger. I don't know. Because even I don't want to blame innocent women for things they didn't do. I don't want that to be the case at all. I'm not after them. But let me go ahead and add to this clarification right quick. I got on here to record the second half of it. And what I want to clarify in this clarification, the second half, is that I didn't come to bring peace but a sword. Now, understandably, that comes out the New Testament. And I'm not a Christian. But whether or not Jesus actually said that, I am saying it. Because I actually am here to bring not so much peace, but a sword. There's already peace between us and the women that ain't causing this trouble. But ain't peace between us and the ones that want things to stay as they have been, or to get more convenient for them at our expense. You see, anybody might want that, but when they actually demand it, ain't no peace. I deal with students, and there's always not just a narcissist, but a lazy ass narcissist. They not only want, but they expect and demand rewards they did not earn, and they earn punishments they will not accept, and they demand to not get these punishments that they've earned. The oldest people I've ever seen do that have always been women, no matter what they've done. It doesn't matter. Whatever they have done, don't punish them, reward them. And they won't just fuck the shuck up and take it either, whatever they've earned. I told you all about my buddy in Malaysia. He told me that what he's going through with his ex is not normal for a Malay woman. Guess what happened, y'all? Now, this is in Malaysia, where most of them don't act like this. And he's a very nice person, which makes me think this must be why he ended up with this broad too as well. He ain't even no punk. He ain't no softy. He ain't no wimp. He's just not a mean person, and probably unlucky. His ex was waiting for him one day when he got back home. He got back home with the lady that he is now discussing marriage with, the one he likes. Now, she's a single mother, but as far as anybody can tell, as far as anybody can tell, she did not drive the man away. Now, I say as far as anyone can tell. I'm not for or against her per se, but his ex was waiting. So he told his ex, look, you screwed this up. You messed this up. I didn't dump you for her. I dumped you, period. Then I met her just a short time ago. But your turn is over. If she doesn't want me in another week, your turn is still up. You messed it up. Yesterday, he went somewhere that he usually goes to eat, and his ex's sister was there and said, can we talk? He said, sure, we can talk. So she slapped him and hit him again. Left bruises. I told him, you definitely should do a police report like your father says. He's a retired cop. You should do the police report. then you should sue her and the sister. Because, see, the ex told the sister that you dumped her for another woman? No. The ex didn't tell the sister that you've been broke up for months and that you just recently met someone, and she found this out firsthand herself when she confronted you at your house. That's why the sister came after you. I mean, he told me actually that that's what happened. But I said, go ahead and sue both of them, because this way, the next time your ex lies to her sister will say, hold up. See, you lied before and we lost a lot of money in that lawsuit. I said to him, do not bring peace but a sword. Not so much because you hate them, but so that they stop, and so that if your ex messes with another guy like that, her sister's not going to believe the lies and go hit that man too. Talk about all these men ain't no good. No, see. So that's what I came to clarify. See, the game is exactly as MOT said. They are consciously planning, Loadcast, they are consciously planning on finding men that don't mind being with single mothers later on, especially men who will bond with the children enough to stay with a bad single mother. They're counting on that. So even though you said it's okay for men to choose whether they'll do it or not, and it is a necessity that men choose, you don't understand that your openness to this is not an insult to me per se. It's just not beneficial for you or other men, because they are counting on men like you being around. That's it. And they're counting on the men who got the least of the panties being the most willing later on to tolerate this. That's the other thing they're counting on. And what I wanted to tell you, sir, is that that is an insult to you whether you think it is or not. Now, you may be able to pull them when they don't have these kids and these extra guts and baggage and all that stuff, and that may be why you don't feel as trapped, because you have the option. Many men, though, for whatever reason, don't have the option. They are stuck with the baggage. Yeah, many men. I'm not saying that these are the bottom rungs of the men. Normal men get stuck with that because the women think that they're all good enough for, the top. Now, the top when they're young, of course, is what C. Boogie would call the jawline Negroes. The top when they're older is financial. But when they get that financial top, then they still want to go and cheat with the jawline guys from the youth. Do you understand what I'm getting at? They're hoping for you, sir, because they want you to be the cleanup man. Even if you've been the guy they would screw right now, they still want you to be the cleanup man later. That's what's going on here. MOT was right about that. That's a game they've been playing consciously, and I am here to turn that game on its head, pull the lid off of it so all the men can see what they've been doing, and not only that, but the men can realize they've been doing this and cooperating with each other to do this, even at the expense of their own sons in many cases. Long before electronic media, they did not need electronic media and translators to all come to the same consensus. However, in non-Western societies, men also had lids on this stuff. Brakes on it, controls on it. In the West, they're off. And so now they're more brazen with certain things that were always in their best interest. Things that were always in women's interest, okay, they were always in their interest. But now in the West, they're more brazen about getting these things without doing what is in men's interest. Taking and not giving. And I'm here to ruin that for them. I am not here so that sons can heal in their relationships with their mothers if their mothers lied to them about what women want. I'm here so that sons will cut their mothers off if they find out their mothers lied to them about what women want and set them up to fail with women when that wasn't what they were looking for. Now, if their mothers were honest about it, that's great. That's a good mom. If their mothers were silent about it, that's neutral. But if mom lied about it, cut her off. Let alone if your aunt, grandmom, or sister did it, cut her off too. The same thing that I would tell a man to do to a woman that friend zones him, goes on dates with him just so that he'll pay while she gets some other guy to rearrange her insides for free, is what I'm going to tell these men to do to their own mothers, let alone grandmoms, aunts, and sisters that lied to them about what women want and set them up for failure. That's what I'm here to do. Jesus is quoted, peace be to him, to have said in the New Testament, think not that I came to bring peace, but I came to bring a sword. I came to set son against father, daughter against mother, brother against brother, and sister against sister. Whether or not he actually said it, or it's just a misquote, because people were changing that scripture, and no, I'm not going to admit that they changed the Quran, because they didn't. Rather, whichever one was the case, I am saying that message to them now. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. Peace is between us and women that would at least just be quiet and show us what they want when they pursue it, but don't make promises they can't keep. There is no peace, especially when they're honest about it, but there is no peace when they lie. I am here to say things that they're not ready for. And as a matter of fact, I judge the accuracy and justice of my message based on the Western woman's inability to handle it. End of story. I'm not just going to say certain things they don't like, even though they don't like them. I'm going to say things they don't like because they don't like them. And the ones in the West that aren't doing this stuff and playing this game, no, I'm not after them. Now, if they wait too late, wait till they're too old, wait till they got too much baggage, if that's what they're going to do, I'm not going to try to help them find anybody. But I'm not after them either, even if they waited until it's too late to come around, until they start screaming that they're owed a man, a successful one at that. But I am here for the ones that they are young now, and they think they just got the world open in front of them, and they think that they can demand rewards they did not earn, and they think that they can just walk away from punishments that they have earned. There ain't no peace with them. It's a sword. Maybe I don't mean physically per se, unless they attack me, but I'm here to ruin the game for them. I'm not even here to talk to them per se. I'm here to talk to the men, even young boys, and tell them these are the games. Now you watch out for them. And if your own mothers want to play this game, cut them off. That's what I'm here to do. Bust up families so that men understand they're going to have to build the black community, but elsewhere. It's going to have to be rebuilt in some other location away from these daggles, even their own mothers. And if it has to be built, if it can be built with black women from elsewhere that'll cooperate, that's great. If it has to be built with non-black women that are not hostile, no Arabs, no Pakistanis, no Indians, no Afghans. If it has to be built with these other women, then it just has to be built with them. And I can tell you now, I straight up tell you now, if you Muslim, Malaysia is great. Southern Philippines is great. Maybe even Southern Thailand. If you not Thailand, Philippines, Cambodia, Laos, even Vietnam, according to a lot of people, great. Not necessarily, and I'm talking about if you're the kind of guy that black women don't want, and there are men that black women don't want. And look, I was the kind of guy that black women did not want. At least I thought I was. And it was to the point that, it was to the point that I felt like I had to be a race traitor or just never have any kids. It was to that point. I imagined that I was going to be by myself and never have kids because I was so loyal, but sisters they would never treat me the same as they treated other men. And other men went through the same thing. Not because their game was goofy, not because of anything like that. Simply because the women were lying. They weren't honest, they weren't forthcoming. I came not to bring peace, but the sword. I came to topple the false idols and smash them to the ground. And I didn't come to do it by telling the women anything. I came to do it by telling the men what the game is. I'm trying to figure out what the game is all my life. And then about 2011, I began to realize it. But you know what? It took till about 2017 to realize that the game was like this across the board almost throughout the West. But then it took till 2018, listening to women respond to men, to realize this shit's not always subconscious. It's oftentimes conscious and malicious. Oh, okay, now I'm on the warpath. Okay, gentlemen, this is what they're looking to do. You're nice because you validate their right to have standards and preferences. They just have to deal with the consequences. You're being nice, gentlemen. I'm going to be the jerk. I'm going to tell them that they have to deal with the consequences, and they don't even have the right to have preferences like what they have now because they're immoral. It's just worse that they're trying to get away from the punishments they've earned and get the rewards they won't. That's all. But no, their standards are jacked up and immoral, and they don't have a right to them. And they still got to deal with the consequences of them. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that they don't have a right to try to combine hypergamy with feminism. They need to pick one or the other. They don't have a right to tell us to pay the cost so that they can be the boss. Either they pay the cost to be the boss, or we pay the cost and we're the boss. I'm coming to tell them you don't have a right to sit up here, look your son in the face and lie to him about what to do when it comes to these girls. No, you tell your son the truth about what they want so that he can make an informed decision. You tell him, we don't like nice guys, especially when we're young and attractive and gorgeous. We like jerks. We can't even tell the difference between a nice guy and old bitch-ass wimp. We have this exaggerated childish instinct. It's not your fault. You choose. You can be responsible and moral, you'll be by yourself, or you can choose from the ugly women. And best believe, if they become more attractive somehow, they're going to bounce for somebody else that's more of a jerk. Or you can choose the low moral route, but you probably going to get more draws that way. It's up to you, but you got to choose. Because we're not going to be attractive and young and come to you and be with you when you also have a sense of morality and responsibility. That's something that if mothers are going to discuss with their sons, they need to do it like that. If grandmothers are going to discuss with their grandsons, they need to do it like that. If aunts are going to discuss it with their nephews, they need to tell them that. And if a woman's silent, it's neutral. But if they're lying to them and saying something to them other than that, then they are lying, and the men need to cut them off. And then go somewhere where, you know what, you don't have to be Superman just to get a Lois Lane. And then have her tell you stop looking at Wonder Woman's ass. Shuck that fit. If you Superman, Lois Lane is a concubine. She's the side chick. And that's according to you all's morals. Mine as a Muslim, look, your Superman is Wonder Woman and that's it. Ain't no side chicks. But, I mean, according to you all's morals, Superman should be married to Wonder Woman and Lois Lane should be the side chick. And matter of fact, really Lois Lane shouldn't even be that. That's really what the truth of the matter is, according to you all's own morals. So, you know, it's time to pull the wool off the men's eyes and make them understand that what you're willing to do is exactly what they're banking on, Lobcast, and that's why they're acting the way they're acting. And then turning around and trying to shape men they don't want into coming back to take care of someone else's kids. Tell them to take care of them the damn self. And tell these men what the game really is, because you know what the game is. You know that this is a game. Go ahead and tell these guys. This is a game. And it's designed for you to lose just because you're a nice guy and they think it means you're a wimp because they can't tell the difference. Because children can't tell kindness from weakness. And they're not adults. Because they want to convince you that they have the right to your, Assalamu alaikum. They want to convince you that they got the right to your ding-a-ling, even when they're not adults. But you have to be an adult to have the right to their uterus. And even then they don't owe you anything. Nah, bruh, pull the lid off the game. Go ahead and let these young dudes know what's happening, bruh. Or don't, and I'll do it. I hope that what I've said one day won't be true anymore, but in the meantime, I hope it's a benefit. Black, signing black out. Assalamu alaikum and black male power.